I only have 1 point to put
Honorable
across.
Tebandeke, I have the floor with permission of Chair. Chair, in your preamble, if I heard you clearly, you intimated that he is laying.
Absolutely.
I was given 3 minutes.
No.
No.
To lay. Because you see, procedurally, Honorable Tebandeke, you have every right to come to the committee and debate and on the floor of Parliament.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
So just delay so that we give a chance to those who have no. Yes. Yeah, and got the House.
Honorable Chair, since I've laid, I would like to conclude that the bill in its entire form is vague, ambiguous, and neither tenable nor reconcilable in its application. And to any rightful thinking Ugandan wouldn't accommodate its consideration.
Thank you.
I beg to submit.
Thank you. Yeah. Uganda Bankers Association. We apologize. We have kept you here longer, but you, as you can see, we have to give opportunity to everyone who came in. Thank you. Please, I hope you address salient issues.
Thank you.
In fact, members will give you questions because this also affects you. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Chairman and honorable members. First of all, on behalf of the association, we want to convey our gratitude to you for inviting us to present our views. We have with me a team from the industry. Would you permit me introduce them?
Introduce them, yeah.
I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Wilbrod Owor. I'm Executive Director, Uganda Bankers Association. I'll ask my colleagues to very quickly run through the introductions.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable members. Chair, Joanna Nakanda from Cairo Bank. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Viola Chaterekera from Stanbic Bank.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Judy Wambaire from KCB Bank, but I also chair the committee of the Uganda Bankers Association. That's the legal committee. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chair and Deputy Chair and members. My name is Kandi Wekesa Okuboy from Standard Bank.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committees. My name is Christopher Junjuluwaga from Citibank.
Good afternoon, Chair and honorable members. My name is Brian Kambaho Karogo from Guarantee Trust Bank. Guarantee Trust Bank.
Good afternoon, Chair and members. My name is Joel Narwairo. I work with the Uganda Bankers Association, the Secretariat. Thank you.
Wilbrod Owor,
yes, sir.
You are here to represent 34 banks.
Yes.
The list is here. This is more organized. Now we know who we are dealing with. Go on.
So thank you very much, Chair, once again.
Yeah.
The umbrella body represents 34 member institutions made up of all the Tier 1 commercial banks, the Tier 2 and Tier 3 financial institutions, all of them licensed by the Central Bank of Uganda, and 3 development financial institutions, that is Uganda Development Bank, East Africa Development Bank, and Afri-Exim Bank in Uganda. Our submission will speak to some concerns, but mainly the economic ramifications that we see in this bill. We are privileged that some of the legal issues were spoken to and submissions were made earlier. We will try and not repeat them because they speak to the same issues. The industry is particularly concerned because the bill, in the 2 clauses, clause 1 in the definitions and the application, touch the entire industry and all aspects. For example, the application in collecting, disbursing, in representing foreign interests, recruiting, it touches the industry. But also because the bill has aspects that speak to the flow of funding There are also penalties, and it also regulates certain aspects, which we believe touch on areas the industry is already regulated on. As you may know, Chair, financial institutions in Uganda, mostly the tier 1, 2, and 3 are regulated by the Central Bank of Uganda under the Financial Institutions Act, FIA, supported by the provisions that establish the Financial Intelligence Authority. And they are licensed as such. And so, like I said, we will speak a lot to the economic ramifications because it has a chilling effect. We do believe and will submit so on the economy of Uganda and directly towards foreign direct investment. The practice of banking means that we have correspondent relationships globally. We work with other banks to facilitate transactions. We believe we have sufficient frameworks anchored in the law that this bill will conflict with, especially the current regulatory framework, and most importantly, like I said, on the economy. I will submit at the end what our recommendations are. But Mr. Chairman, there are various, and we've put in writing, time has gone, so some of them you'll go through in the reading. In speaking to some of them, I'll just speak to examples. And the issue of foreign, the agent of foreign definition has been well spoken to. I will not repeat, and our membership has foreign banks, as I spoke to that. But I want to say the practice of banking has correspondent. We facilitate transactions through other banks internationally, and we act on their behalf, and they also act on our behalf. Secondly, on the restrictions around foreign funding. Chair, allow me to tell you that the governor, after government of Uganda, under the NDP4, launched what you now know as the tenfold growth strategy for 2040, the ATMs. The minister passed a message to the governor, which the governor passed to the banks. And the industry in Uganda was challenged to draw up a plan to support government's ATMs agenda of tenfold growth. Chair, the industry did that. We have a blueprint here to support government's ATM strategy. The whole basis of that plan, which we have submitted to government and we have agreed on actions, is for the industry to mobilize funding to support government's ATM strategy. Specifically, support private sector credit to expand it more than 10 times. Current lending is around 27 trillion, 26. More than 10 times would be far more than 260 trillion. This plan has committed the industry over the next 15 years to extend private sector credit to 490 trillion in support of government's ATMs agenda. In that plan, the whole plan is around mobilizing that funding. And it is not, because it's not sufficient, what is currently domestic. And it involves a combination of things, including attracting capital from the foreign world. One of the other things we've done in the plan is to, because the country has seen the potential in remittances, in the plan we've established what we call a diaspora finance working group. And the whole objective is to structure a funding instrument to mobilize and translate diaspora remittances into a long-term funding machinery to finance infrastructure for the economy. That detail is here. We see that this bill puts that process at risk. In foreign funding, financial institutions provide guarantees. I can give you an example. Before I joined the association, as a CEO of United Bank for Africa. Uganda Revenue Authority headquarters needed to be built, the one in Nakawa now. The contractor to do that job needed a guarantee. The bank I worked for,
procedure. It's a procedure issue, Chair.
Procedure?
With all due respect, Mr. Wall, where is that in this?
No,
because if it's not there, for the record, we are relying on your hearsay.
Okay.
So kindly please either provide the documents to do with those agreements for us to.
And that is correct.
Or it has to be here.
For the record,
you have to own.
Mr. Wall has submitted.
But whatever he's saying is off cuff. It's not here.
It should be, yeah.
I'm much obliged, my chair.
Okay.
Chair, I think
obliged.
you need to guide us. I think the witnesses before us are not coming here to read word per word.
No, but to highlight.
But to highlight,
yeah.
And they have to explain what is in the document. They must speak off cuff. I don't expect a witness to come and he starts reading a speech to us. So, the point, as I understood it, no, you cannot explain. You cannot explain when you are doing it off cuff. How do you explain a document? Please. Because you see, the point is we want to understand the point he has made.
Yes.
How this particular will affect the industry.
Absolutely.
And he's going
and then the corresponding clause that it
a
offends.
certain example. Let's give the witnesses a chance to make their case. Then we make our decision. Yes, Chair.
What is also true is that the Bankers Association submitted their memorandum. They have even done an additional. So I thought that Honorable Nsvambe had gotten the two documents. They actually two, the original one and the additional. So you take us, and we had liked your presentation because you are specific, clause by clause. The banking principle that it offends, the clause, the profit, please.
Just before just respectfully, when you were explaining that point, you had reached somewhere that I needed more clarification. So can you give us an example when government requires funding for a big project now like building URA, how do they go about it?
Thank you. So
are you interested in building URA? Please.
Thank you.
Floor is yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Honorable members, I'll use examples to demonstrate the point. And in instances where funding requirements like that come into play, financial institutions come into play by supporting either the funding process or the guarantee process required to raise the funding required. And in the instance I was saying, the bank that supported the contractor to build that, to put up that building, required a guarantee. That guarantee was got from the group headquarters, which is a foreign bank to support. And today the transaction is successful. We have numerous ones, the dams. Right now we are structuring
But in that case, in the spirit of the law,
yes,
that would not be contested.
The law in its
because
application,
the intention of the money, as you say, application of...
Yeah, the application obligates financial institutions
yes.
on a number of things that it has to do